Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of Customs for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and of course, if you are, please drop a like on the video. Let's go on ahead and aim for 1,000 likes. Plus, don't forget to stick around till the very end of the episode to vote on which character design you like best. Plus, if you have any ideas for any designs that you would like to see customized on future episodes, please do not hesitate to use the comments section down below to do so. Because, for example, that is exactly how today's two choices were selected. Was from looking at the last two episodes of Customs, I saw that a lot of you guys have been wanting to see these two specific things, and that was one was to design basically my own original Jedi or Sith, but I chose to do the Jedi today. Of course, if you guys want to see a Sith, keep that comment in the comments section below, and I will consider to do that maybe for the next episode. Plus, additionally to that, a lot of you guys wanted to see an Ant-Man design. So I was like, you know what? That sounds really fun. Let's give it a go, and hopefully we can make it happen. Alrighty, Roo. So here we are. By the way, if you haven't seen the Customs War between myself and Gamer, check it out. It was really a whole bunch of fun. He got to build myself, and I got to build him. It was super duper fun. So if you haven't seen it, check it on out. Alrighty, Roo. Let's get rocking and rolling. We're going to kick things off with the Ant-Man design, just because I think that will be a little bit more intriguing off the bat. And then after that, we're going to try to design our own Jedi, which I'm nervous about. I'm not going to lie. I'm very nervous about it because I think it's going to go wrong very easily. But we'll see how it goes. All right. So, Ant-Man, Ant-Man, Ant-Man. Since we're going for the helmeted look, we can kind of choose between these two, which is this one and then this one. I really like the red one better because Ant-Man did have red lenses in the film. Like, if you remember the actual minifigure from the movie Ant-Man, he did have red little lenses over the eyes. So I think that this one's a little bit more fitting. Now, before we leave, I do want to double check that there is nothing else that would stand out better. I mean, this could be really cool for like a different design. And actually, you know what? This one right here could work for the not Hank. Yeah, Hank Pym Ant-Man. This one would work really, really well for that. So if you guys want to see a Hank Pym Ant-Man, we might be able to build that as well. So leave that in the comments section below. All right. So let's see. For the face, it really doesn't really matter, I guess, but maybe we could get something to look somewhat cool. Like, because that kind of almost looks more like ant eyes, which would be more fitting. I know that that's obviously inaccurate to what Paul Rudd looks like underneath the mask, but I actually kind of like that because it gives it a nice distinct look. So I think we're going to use those eyes because I think with the red lens, it really works very, very, very well together. Alrighty, Root. Now, hair doesn't matter, face color doesn't matter as well because that obviously does not have any type of actual significance unless let me just double check. What happens if we do that? That does look cooler with the red. What about the black color? That's much nicer because it gives it a little bit of depth. So I do like that quite a bit. So we'll keep that. All right. Now is the tricky part, and that is the torso or the body of Ant-Man, because this is the most important component, the most crucial component to get right. I mean, honestly, the head is obviously really important, but I think we got the head pretty well. So now we got to figure out what kind of a body we're going to use for this. I almost said face. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. And this is always easier said than done because I'm looking at it, I'm trying to figure out, because again, I tried to not look ahead of time for the customs. I've only done that once, which was the customs war between myself and Gamer, where we looked at some of the parts and pieces before we designed Cyclops, just so we could have a pretty good bearing on like what we're building. But typically speaking, in any other scenario, I do not look at the pieces so that it's more exciting that way. It's more authentic because I'm honestly creating the character on the spot with you guys. And I think that that makes it a lot more fun and exciting and engaging. So, with that being said, what we're looking for is something that is predominantly black but has reds throughout as well, which unfortunately there really isn't anything like that here. There's stuff that has a lot of reds, but with a little bit of blacks, but there really isn't much that has to offer in terms of, oh man, that's probably the closest, but I really don't want to use that part again. So this totally stinks. I think we might actually have to use this one, which is not too bad because it's got some like buttons and such that Ant-Man would utilize to maybe like grow and scale and such. So it's not a terrible idea. If we can get the arms to have a little bit of red in them, that could be pretty good. If we can get the arms to have just a wee little bit of red, that's way too much red. Oh man, I wish there was like, I wish we could have this, but instead of that being orange, it was red. That would work perfect. Because of that, because we don't have anything like that, I think we have to just stick with the black arms, unfortunately, which is a little bit more boring. I do think that he did have gray gloves, though. I'm pretty sure, from what I remember from the film. So we're going to go with the gray gloves. Then for the hips, ideally, again, maybe we'll bring a little bit of color red into the hips. So we'll select something basic as far as the hips go, but then on the legs, I'm hoping that there's a little bit of red. Ooh, okay. There's one thing that right away jumped to mind, which was this one. That's not bad. If we remove that weapon, we might be in business here. That is not bad at all. I really like the way that that looks. Is there anything else here that kind of stands out? I mean, we have kind of a little bit of black and red here, but that's just simply too much red. If it was inverted, that might have worked, but I really, really like the way that this looks. I really genuinely do. So I think we might go with that, unless if there's something else that springs to mind, which there really isn't anything. Maybe, let me just try this out. What does that look like? No, that's gray, so that just does not work for us. Let's go with that one. Hopefully it looks good once we get out of here. So we're going to go ahead and hit next. And I think that there is no weapon here that I would like to give Ant-Man. So I think we're just going to remove all the weapons because I just think that's more accurate to Ant-Man. He doesn't have any weapons in that regard. I mean, he has those little stars that he throws that like make stuff shrink and grow, but there isn't anything like that here. So unfortunately, we're just going to select him with no weapons. We're going to go ahead and rename him to obviously Ant-Man. I wish there was like a dash that you could put. That would be really, really nice. But unfortunately, that is not something that is available to us. And then we need to clear that out. And then man, whoops, and N. And we will be ready to rock and roll. All right, Ant-Man is now complete, ladies and gentlemen. There is the code for the character. So if you'd like to build him for yourself, you have the exact code that you could follow in order to make that happen. Alrighty, Rune, let's go ahead. Go ahead. I don't even know what that was. It was like an awkward pause. And design our very own Jedi. So, this is going to be a really, really super tricky because on one hand, I want to be like, okay, what would I look like a Jedi? But then I'm like, that would be boring because it would essentially be maybe something like that with just a little bit of redone stuff to it, which would be kind of plain and way too simplistic. So I want to get a little bit more creative with it. I also don't want to use any of the alien heads because I think that the problem with the alien heads is that once we select any of them, don't get me wrong, like a Jedi with like this type of head would be really cool. But the problem with that is that then we have no customization that we can do to that thing. Like for example, if I were to be like, hey, let's put a hat on that thing, you can't, which stinks because I really would love to have a little bit more creative control and a little bit more of creative juices to be able to apply to the design. So, with all that in mind, actually, before we even carry on, we will back out of this because what I think we need to do is go on ahead and select the character that has the cape because I think a Jedi should have a cape and I think this one would be appropriate for this particular case. All right, so I think we customized Sith Jar Jar, yep. And now we shall go on ahead and re-customize this character. So, for the hats, I kind of am leaning towards maybe like a cape, or sorry, a hood, I should say, like something like that, because I think that could look cool. Whoa, that does look cool already, I have to say. That is really nifty. Actually, I think that's what we should do. We should make it like a non-like regular, not just like a human species character, because I think that would be boring. So I think that kind of looks cool. I like the green. Maybe blue. Ooh, that looks really nice. All right, let's see. What other faces are there? Out of like alien type faces, we have this, which does look really cool. We have this one, which is all right, but we've used it just recently, so I don't want to just like spam the same types. We have Darth Maul's face, which is okay in terms of its application to other colors. Then we have Neon Nunb, which does look cool, so that would work. What about this one right here? That one we already tried, correct? This one is interesting. And I think that is about all as far as those designs go. I'm kind of leaning towards this, honestly, with like a different color. Let's see, what if we did like pink? No, that doesn't look good. What about red? Ooh, that looks nifty. This looks more like a Sith, which is why I think it'll be good to kind of like almost throw people off, you know, because people will judge a book by its cover thinking like, oh, that guy must be evil, but he'll actually be a Jedi, which will be really cool. Whoa, that green looks beautiful. What about this green right here? No, I have to say that green right there looks gorgeous. We're going to go with that. We're going with that for sure. All right, before we leave, I do want to try out a couple of other hats, including the black hood right there, which does look really nice. What about this right here? No, that's a little bit boring looking. Is there anything else that can look all right? That could be cool for like a bounty hunter type character. That would be really neat, actually. Emperor Palpatine's robe. I think that is really cool. All right, so we'll go with that one. I think that that one is a little bit different to this design, honestly, because this design seems to kind of like not be as elongated as this one. I think so. So we'll keep that. And then we will head off to the body side of things. All right, so since we're going with the black attire, we're probably going to have to go with the black torso for the most part. What about that? That looks really cool, actually. Because that looks like something that's made out of like fur or like something like that, where it's almost like this guy just like assembled this attire somewhere. So I think that that actually does look really cool. Maybe throw a little bit of orange in there just to break up the colors a wee little bit. I think that looks cool. Then could we make the gloves green? Yeah, maybe, you know what? Maybe he doesn't wear gloves and he just has a green skin. So he's like Yoda or something, right? That could be cool. Now, for the torso, for the hips, sorry. Let's just put like the regular plain black hips. And then I'd love to do something that is like a little bit of orange in it. Just so it kind of works off the arms. I think that could look really, really nifty. So if we could find something like that, like black and orange, that could be really cool. This is kind of like that, but it's got way too much color on it, so that doesn't work for us. Oh, man. Let's see. Could this look cool, maybe? That does look cool, actually. I think we need to change the hips, though, to have a little bit of gray in them, because I think that could look a lot better. There we go. All right. I am liking that quite a bit. All right. So what we shall do now is obviously give him a really cool lightsaber. Okay, so we kind of have to choose between like blue, green, or the Luke Skywalker saber. I think, or you know what? Let's make him more unique. He'll have the white lightsaber, so that it's like a unique element. So what I will do, guys, is I will leave his name in your hands. So go on ahead and come up with a name for this character, and we will go on ahead and name him on the next episode of Customs. So it is literally all up to you guys. We're gonna go ahead and just call him A for now. He'll be like triple A, like you know, like when you play arcade games and they'll ask you sometimes like enter your name with only 3 letters. That's like what we entered right there. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. There is the code, of course, for our character. I will very, very, very much like to see you guys get creative with the name, because I think you guys could come up with something really, really, really cool. You guys oftentimes blow me away with like your ideas. You're like, oh, dude, do this, do that, do this, do that. So I'm sure you guys will come up with a really cool name for the Jedi that we built here today. So with that in mind, ladies and gents, let's go on ahead and summon the 2 characters that we worked on here today. The first one was our Ant-Man design. There he is. And I have to say, that turned out a lot better than I even thought it would. That looks really, 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 really nice. Obviously, ideally, we wanted a little bit more reds involved in the design in order to have that a bit more accurate to the actual film look. But we tried our best within the limits that we had. And then The second character was AAA. There he is. My goodness, this character looks awesome. I think he turned out incredibly well. I love that cape look. I wish we could change the color of the cape because that would be just exceptionally awesome. There he is with his absolutely tremendously cool white lightsaber, ready to slice and dice all foes and all enemies. Thank you guys so very much for watching today's episode of Customs for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. I hope to see you guys here next time. Leave a like, and I'll see you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.